Namaste everyone, welcome to another episode of the Avocado Insider series. It's your host Harshit Godha. In this episode, we continue our discussion with Lisa from Ripe Horticulture, Australia, and we talk about how to manage heat in avocado orchards. Now, this is a very interesting topic for people who want to grow avocados in arid conditions. If your farm is located in MP, Gujarat, Punjab, Maharashtra, then you need to watch this video. We discuss how micro sprinklers can be used to mitigate uh, the heat damage. And please note that you cannot grow Haas and lamb Haas if the temperature is going above 35 degrees Celsius. So that's where green skin avocados come into picture. I've seen those work in Israel. Pinkerton, Ettinger, Reed, these are the varieties that I am selling that can tolerate temperatures till 40, 42. 42 is what I've seen. After that, like it's you have to try.
What's the heat tolerance like for gem? Like, can it tolerate 40, 42 degrees Celsius or?
Oh, I don't think any avocado can tolerate that. So our magic number is about 35. So the stomata are closing down at 35. But our objective in those more arid climates is just to reduce that closing down. So we have overhead misters and we put them on, and you put them on at about 32 and you do not turn them off until the temperature goes back down below 35. So you have to be very careful when you're setting up that system that you're not putting out too much water. But then you need to be putting out enough that it doesn't just evaporate in the air. So down there, the humidity would be lucky to be sort of 10% during those days. So if you had a high humidity, you'd have a lot better result. But it just, everyone's a little bit different. It all comes down to people's pipes that they have in place underground and what they can actually put in. Because you've got, your limitation is how much water you can get out with your pumps over that hectare. And if you already have sprinklers and drips connected, and then you have to do another submain for the overhead misting separately. If you sort of haven't planned that at the beginning, like you're coming in and doing it after, that can dictate what you can put out over the top.
So I had a question. The temperature in my climatic conditions can go up to 42, 43 degrees Celsius. And my main focus is on green skin varieties like Pinkerton, Ettinger, Reed. And I've seen those work in Israel. Like I was in Israel for a month and I've seen those work at 40 degrees Celsius. So I have been suggested to use overhead misting. But do I need to have a mister on top of every tree or?
It depends on your pipes under the ground. So the laterals, how thick they are. So I've got guys that have both and they work really well, but you have to manage differently. So I've got guys who have drips. If you have drip irrigation, you need a bigger droplet size over the top. If you have low level sprinklers or micro sprinklers, you can get away with a smaller one. The smaller ones are cheaper, the bigger ones more expensive. But we've also gone to those misters that are more, I think they're a Netafim, they have the Bulgarian, and they
shoot it's called Pulsar. Is it called Pulsar?
R10.
Okay, I'll check it out.
R10s. Yeah, but then apparently there's the new ones from Netafim that have been created that if you have a lower level of available water in your, so say you only have a 6-inch submain and you've got 2 blocks irrigating, you could still put in overhead misters and they just reach a pressure point and have a pressure valve at the tip and then they just release when they get to a certain pressure. So they'll be going, but you need to have more of them. It looks like in that system you almost need to have maybe one every 2 trees or it just, again, it's so trial and error. There's not a lot of research on it. It's really, all my experience has just been trial and error. And you can see there's like a range that you can go to. So are you on micro sprinklers or drips?
So my plants are in nursery right now. I'm going to be developing the orchard in October this year after monsoon. So I'll be
Yep.
using drips, not micro sprinklers.
Drips.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you'll probably just have to have a slightly larger droplet size. So
Okay.
we look at about 100 litre per hour
Yeah.
sprinklers over the top for drips.
Okay.
We found that under 100, but that's in our climate. So, and that's with, usually we get hot winds, you get 42 and humidity is really low. What does your humidity get to?
Low. It's low. Very low.
Low. Okay.
Yeah.
So, because if you go too big, you can have issues. You can imagine if they're on every day for 8 hours.
Yeah.
You really got to watch sometimes you don't need your drip.
Okay.
And once a tree shuts down, you'll find it's not drinking water anyway. So if you have soil moisture sensors or sap flow sensors, you'll be able to see that the tree's not drinking. So therefore, there is that tendency to overwater and get iron deficiency and possibly drown them. So iron deficiency is a real alarm that means you're overwatering.
Yeah.
So I assume then you probably have a high pH soil.
No, not. It's around 6.5.
Oh, okay, perfect. Yeah, okay. Well, you may not get that iron deficiency as much, but it's usually a really good indicator for avocado.
Right.
But yeah, you can make it work a lot of ways. So with the bigger droplets, you just have to change your management. So you'd be putting them on for shorter periods of time, and then you'd have a longer interval. So that means you could say put them on for 9 minutes, pulse through all the other blocks, and get back in time to that block again, and you'd have temperature sensors in your tree, and you just work it around till it's sort of optimal. And if you have a finer mist, you sort of need to have them just on the whole time.
Right.
So if you've got limited water, the pulsing probably works a little bit better. If you've just got bulk water, not a concern. Putting the misters on and leaving them on the avocado really enjoys that.
Okay.
I hope you found the video interesting and insightful. That's it for today. Thank you for watching. Bye.